Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Howdy.
Howdy.
And welcome to our very first live stream. We are planning, what are we planning, Emily? 3 of these over the course of the Black Friday weekend?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
our first stream. We're just here to answer any questions that y'all have in the chat, but we also have a pre-curated list of questions that we'll be talking about with all kinds of WP Fusion things. So if you came to hang out and learn about WP Fusion, you can do that. But if you also have a question, we're happy to help you out live too, to the best of our ability, but we can always hit you up later in support. But we're here with the founder, the CEO, the head of marketing, and me, a WP Fusion power user. So we have a lot of resources for you. So let us know in the chat where you're calling in from and any questions you might have. But yeah.
And we're also kind of just, we wanted to give this format a test run and make sure all of the various services and wires get integrated properly before before the hell that is Black Friday. So this is kind of a relaxed, casual conversation while we see how everything works. Let's see, Emily, where do we see if anybody's viewing at the moment? Is there a stat for that in StreamYard?
Yeah, in the upper left corner next to the red live, there's an eyeball that's black with the number.
Okay,
do you
cool.
see that? And it should be next to my face, or maybe next to your face. Do you see it up there? It's upper left.
I don't. I just see the live, but maybe that means that nobody's watching, so that's fine.
No, I do see a few people on here.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah, we have. Let us know in the comments. We have Gravity Kit.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there's Zach. How's it going, Zach?
Hello.
Welcome to our live stream.
But then also over on the right side, do you see the comments? Jack, it should be like on the far right side. There's like a upper.
I do see that one. Yeah.
Cool. So you can click on any of these comments and it'll pop it up on screen.
Okay, cool. Oh, I see. All right, and I need to connect my YouTube channel. Good thing we're figuring all this out. Or actually, you guys have this figured out already. I'm figuring it out. Let's see. Connect. Hey, Katy.
Hello from Mallorca.
Mallorca. Yeah. Emily, do you think it makes more sense for me to connect to YouTube as my personal account or as WP Fusion, like for replying to comments? What do you usually do?
If you reply in chat, you can select which channel you go to. So when you go to type a comment there, you can click the all button and it'll allow you to swap to.
Okay, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so that's set up.
We see you, Zach. Hi.
It seems like the majority of our viewing audience right now is the founder friends, and so they might not have WP Fusion questions.
I told them to come on and support me, so it feels like we're having a successful stream. Great. Yeah, we had some questions prepared. Do you want to get into those? And then if anybody else has any questions, let us know in the comments. We've got a test site set up. If anybody's got features they're interested in, we'll do tech support. We'll do whatever you like. You've got us for an hour, and you've got us live. So let's get it started.
All right. Hi, folks. I'm Katy Laurel. I'm the marketing director over here at WP Fusion, and I'm going to be asking the questions because I'm really good at asking questions, and I have 2 folks that are really good at answering them. Our first question today is going to be, why would I want to use marketing automation? Why would I want to do that? Emily, would you mind starting?
Yeah, that's a good question. Why would I want to use marketing automation? Well, doing marketing manually is something that would make sense when you have maybe less than 10 users as a part of your platform. But then when you go above that amount, sending emails manually one-to-one via like an inbox system like Gmail or whatever you're using as a way to manage your inbox is kind of a complicated thing. You'll lose track of where customers are at in your journey. There's probably multiple products you'll be selling, knowing who has what product and segmenting users in your audience when you're dealing with like 50 or 100 people or more. Marketing automation allows you to tag people when they come into your products, come into your ecosystem, buy your products, download your ebooks, whenever they interact with your business in any way. WP Fusion and marketing automation in general serves the purpose of allowing all that data to be stored in your CRM and transferred from WordPress into your CRM, so then you can do automatic follow-ups with emails to help promote more products. If someone's bought an existing product of yours, try to give them coupons, for example, like a Black Friday season. If you want to send a broadcast email or run a campaign to boost sales during this time when a lot of companies are doing sales, there's a way to broadcast out of CRM. So automation does a lot for you in terms of scalability, but it also does a lot in terms of just autonomy, to where you can set up the systems for your business. People can come and interact with your business, and you don't necessarily have to be there doing the manual work all the time. You just have to create good systems. That's how I look at it.
That's really smart. I think we have a comment in the chat about turning down the music a bit.
Yeah, we can do
If you
that.
don't mind. Thanks, Emily. I appreciate it. I know you're
Mhm.
answering questions and you're steering the ship at the same time. So really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for expounding on that question. I learn a lot every time I'm in a room with you, Emily, mostly virtual rooms, but really appreciate all of your wisdom. Jack, what's your input on this question? Tell us, why are we using marketing automation?
Once my video comes back. So I think, right, like Emily said, I think a lot of people get started with an email list, and they're familiar with that, and they put all their customers. Can you hear me when my video drops out?
Unfortunately not. We're missing it.
I'm
Sorry
gonna
about that.
drop my stream quality down to a little bit lower. And 1 second. Okay, I had a backup running. Yeah, so marketing kind of gets a bad reputation because you're often getting hit with messages and ads and interrupted when watching YouTube by stuff that isn't relevant to you. And so it's sort of like, oh, you work in marketing, you're making the world a terrible place. But that's only because it's not appropriately targeted. So what we try to do with marketing automation is deliver the right messages to the right people at the right time. If somebody buys a product from us, instead of sending the same message to everybody, we send them tips and tricks specific to the product they just bought. If they maybe could benefit from a feature that is available in one of our other plans, we're able to send them a message that talks specifically about that. If somebody's payment fails, we can follow up with them and let them know they might need to update their credit card information. So it's making marketing more personal and more targeted, and then that also increases people's engagement with your marketing, and generally means you make more money and your customers are happier, and it helps your business grow. And then, of course, also saves you time. You can automate, especially around things like subscription cancellations and payment failures and stuff like that. A lot of people still do that manually. Like, hey, your payment didn't go through this month. What can we do? So it can save a lot of administration time as well.
That's great. Yeah, it sounds like marketing automation, when I first learned about it, was going to be something that really made people feel that they were distant from the company or the person they were working with. But with all of these added automations, it really helps the customer feel like they're being paid attention to, their needs are being answered, and that you're following up with them whenever their needs are there. All right, I've got another question for you guys. Second question.
We have a quick technical interlude. Zach has pointed out that he's hearing a bit of echo from me coming from, I think, maybe Katy's speaker. Do you have a headphone handy? Perhaps?
Sure. Let's see what I can do here. I don't think I have great headphones, so let me brainstorm this.
No worries. We'll put it on the ideas board for next time.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, the speakers I have handy are not great. So I will just mute when I am not talking to solve that problem.
No, it's all right. I don't think it's really that bad, but yeah, we'll just, we'll put it on the notes. Okay, great.
All right. Are we
Where
ready
were
for
we?
the second
Sorry.
question? That's okay.
Sure.
No problem. So in this modern day and age, we all get thousands of emails every week. Aren't emails kind of dead in 2024? Is marketing automation just an email? Try to explain that to me. I need to know more about this.
I think there's a lot of people saying that, but it's still like the most effective way to reach people in mass. Like, I was looking at this like customer success story or customer success executive who was talking about how email is still the best way to reach people, even though it does see declining open rates. There are other ways to reach people with CRMs, and marketing automation doesn't just mean email. It can mean things above and beyond that. I think having a culture of respect around the emails that you're sending people and really treating marketing automation with like a high amount of pride within the company you have, and just having the automation tools you have set up in the CRM you're using and the way you deliver your emails be configured well will address a lot of those problems. And like with deliverability, with open rates and things like that. Email doesn't necessarily need to be essential to your brand, but it's a really important way to keep people in touch when they leave your website, when you want them to come back, when you want them to see promotional offers. So even though open rates and statistics are lower than they used to be, there's also a lot more people using email, and I still see it as the most effective way to reach people, at least people who are using their computer and people on the web. But what do you think about that, Jack?
Yes, I agree. I do think email is still very effective, but marketing automation isn't just email. We've been doing a lot of work with Omnisend recently, and they are a multi-channel marketing automation platform, which means they will send SMS messages to customers who prefer to be contacted by phone, emails to customers who prefer email. SMS it tends to have some of the highest engagement rates. So when used effectively and you're not annoying people, that can work really well. But it also doesn't have to be about communicating with people by reaching out to them, on their devices. Marketing automation could be when you come and visit our website, we're personalizing the homepage based on the courses you've signed up for. Or we look at, you haven't purchased any products in the last 3 months, but you used to be a really regular customer. So we're going to automatically generate a special discount code just for you to try to get you to come back. Or we're going to, trigger pop-ups based on if you failed a quiz 3 times, the pop-up pops up and prompts you to set up a call with a one-on-one call with one of the teachers on your online course site. So it's about personalizing every interaction that you're having with your customers, not just email and SMS.
And I think we have a great follow-up question in the chat. Zach asked, have we seen any WP Fusion customers have success with SMS follow-up?
I haven't done a lot with it. I could have come more prepared with that one. I'll put that on my notes. I don't get many marketing SMSs, but because I'm in Germany and there's a lot of protection laws around who can text you, I think I'm kind of like behind the curve on that one. I know in talking to the Omnisend folks, they say that their customers tend to start with SMS because it's got higher engagement rates, and then email gets less attention, or email might be a monthly newsletter or product updates, and then SMS is more personalized and account specific and like tailored to the individual.
It's really interesting. Yeah, hop in.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of like regulations coming out about like customer protection and how people can be messaged and stuff. Like I remember like a couple of years ago I was getting spam phone calls like every day, and that's not really happening anymore. So now like networks at the network level with like messaging and phone calls are installing these like spam protection methods. So I have used Twilio in the past for marketing automation, and it worked with ActiveCampaign at the time. Right. That's the only SMS text message one I've set up before. It was like an ActiveCampaign Twilio integration, but then it worked really well because the LMS site I was working on, which is an online course or membership, was sending data to ActiveCampaign through WP Fusion, and then the ActiveCampaign Twilio integration was handling any text messages that were supposed to be sent out as a part of campaigns. And it was really useful to engage with, but I think we talk about like consent a lot in people's emails of like, did this person give you explicit permission to send them messages about this specific topic, specifically marketing or like a password reset or an auto login link, making sure you have those permissions and have proven to the carriers who are going to be delivering these notifications like AT&T and T-Mobile that you do have permission from this user in order to send them these type of messages. And so there's ways to set that up now. It's a little more work because you can just email anybody usually, but now like there was like didn't Gmail or some other emailers were putting in protections for making sure that spam wasn't coming through and that the servers who were sending emails in had to be validated. So like if you have a CRM and you're sending from your website, you had to validate. And so now you're having to do more of that for text message, but I think that's a positive change.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I just learned a lot. Excited about the future of text messaging.
I think that would actually be a really nice blog post for us to work on. We could kind of reach out to some people, do some surveys, and see if anybody has had success with SMS marketing and what tools they're using and how they've integrated it with WordPress. Because, yeah, Zach's right. I haven't seen a lot of that, but I think there's a lot of opportunity there.
I'm putting it on the docket. Look forward
Definitely.
to that.
If I could add another note for people who are considering text message versus email, I get this question a lot. It's like, what kind of marketing automation should I set up? And like, should I go text message? Should I go email? I think I do a lot of work on the web, so I'm always talking to people on Zoom who are on their computers, and so email's a perfect format for that. But I do know someone who is doing a course for people who ride horses, like an equestrian course, and they're not on their computers, they're only on their mobile phones. So text message was such an effective way to communicate.
They're on the back of their horse checking their SMSs, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
They're getting mail by carrier pigeon.
Yeah, you may have saved some lives there.
but yeah, don't text and ride. But
yeah.
but yeah, so thinking about like what kind of marketing automation is going to be most effective for you specifically, I think is important.
Yeah, and you're right. It does depend on your customer base. Older customers might not necessarily check their email every day, but they're still getting text messages. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Completely.
Okay. Well, we'll deep dive into that, I think, in the future. And I bet people will have more questions about it. And yeah, look forward to a blog. Maybe not next month, but a couple months from now, we'll get into it. Okay, now I have a question about time. Time is one of the most valuable resources that we have, time and attention. That's what humans have at this moment. And I'm really appreciative to everyone that's giving it to us right now. Shout out to everybody watching. So, in regards to marketing automation, what are some ways that I could save time with marketing automation?
That's a good question. Saving time with marketing automation. Marketing automation is all about saving time and creating a positive customer experience. and so I think setting up automations, especially for people who are coming into your funnel, like I do a lot of one-to-one client work, but I still find marketing automation extremely useful because even though I'm going to talk to every single one of my customers one-to-one when they come into my system, I still can't deliver onboarding for each of the courses and explain each of the courses that they might be enrolling in. I can't direct them around my entire ecosystem of YouTube videos and the website and what kind of services I offer. Even though I'm doing a lot of one-to-one work, it's still a lot to do manually. So the marketing automation saves me a lot of time in giving customers an intro because I can say to them, hey, like, it's nice to meet you. I can spend the time one-to-one on Zoom learning about their specific use case and then recommending them resources, but I don't need to explain it all to them or onboard them to all those resources because the automation can handle it. I'll say like, hey, I'm going to add you to my CRM. You're going to get an email follow-up, which will introduce you to everything that I have available for you. But specifically to your use case, I might recommend you check out these things. And that's a one-to-one business. That's not even like imagining a business with thousands or tens of thousands of customers. It's just so much more useful even to those cases. But I think every use case could use marketing automation to save time. What about you, Jack?
Yeah. Oh, there's just so many. Where do I start? Yeah. So, I mean, a good example would be, say you have a business, like a physical business where you book events for people, like a nail salon or, I don't know, a doctor's practice or something like that. and people are making bookings via your website. Using WP Fusion and a marketing automation tool, you can send out automated email and SMS reminders before their booking. So that's literally saving you time for all the people who forget about their appointments and don't show up. And then also send automated messages after the booking asking, was everything okay? Do you want to leave any feedback? Would you like to post a review on this website? For companies who are shipping physical products as well, you can use marketing automation to automatically notify them when their order has been seen. We have a lot of customers who use WP Fusion to track product customizations. Like say you're ordering a ring for your wedding anniversary and you want it engraved. The marketing automation sequence will let the customer know that the engraving was accepted by the artist, the engraving is now completed, the product is shipped. That's all stuff that used to be kind of like you submit your order and wait for something to happen. And more times than not, then you're calling in and saying, hey, how's that going? Or what's the status update on that? So you can, systematize all these engagement points with the customer, and it makes the customer feel more connected to your business. And then also they're spending less time like calling you and asking what's going on or missing appointments or that kind of thing.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, literally today I had cat food delivered to my house and I had like 3 text messages. And I went to the dentist today and I had 2 follow-up text messages. You're just, people are doing it. It makes sense. And it makes me feel cared for. I'm like, thank you for telling me when my cat food's going to get here. My cat needs to know. Okay, great. Really helpful. I'm going to admit this next question, I'm going to need both of you to break it down a little bit. There's some high-tech terms in here that I don't really understand. And I'm going to need you to talk about this like I have never heard of a CRM before. And people on the chat might be really annoyed with me, but I'm just going to say, take it easy on me because I'm newbie to all of this and maybe someone will learn something. But if you have more intelligent questions to add on to this, because you're above me in this intelligent stratosphere, feel free to put them in the chat. We want to see them. We want to answer all of them. So here's the question. What are the pros and cons of self-hosting a CRM as a plugin like Groundhog or Fluent CRM versus using a cloud-based solution like ActiveCampaign? So please break it down. Self-hosting a CRM, cloud-based solution. I'm lost.
Yeah.
Please walk me
What's a
through.
cloud? Yeah.
What is a cloud? I'm very confused these days.
But first, Katy, you are very smart. You're very intelligent. You have a lot of experience. You may be new to the space, but you've got a lot. You've got a lot going. You've experienced marketing, and that's really all you need to do in order to market. Is experience good marketing and think about the experience. So you do have a lot. But what a hosted or a cloud, something in the cloud like an ActiveCampaign or something you'd put in the back end of your WordPress website, as far as a CRM goes, would look like Groundhog or Fluent CRM are 2 of the most popular CRMs you can add to the back end of your WordPress website. I actually do have Fluent CRM installed on a demo site, so I can show you like kind of a.
So to back up a little bit, what is the cloud? When we talk about when your CRM is in the cloud, what does that mean? And or I guess I could just tell you.
Sure.
Getting used to the format here. So traditionally, software services for marketing are run by a big company, and they have a bunch of computers somewhere like, in London or New York City. And when you want to send an email, you go to their website and you put your content in, you upload your customers into their system, and then they handle the sending of the email for you and store all of your data for you, and you pay them monthly for that. And then when we talk about self-hosted, that's, well, it's not unique to WordPress, but it's becoming more popular in WordPress, is that you own your own data and your CRM and contacts live on your WordPress website, which means you're not paying another company based on the number of emails you send or how many contacts you have in your database. You have full control over the system. Back to you.
Yeah. So with some, let me see if I can screen share here. If I go to plugins on my site. So for something like Fluent CRM or Groundhog, that's going to be like right here in the back of your WordPress. And I didn't set it up, so you can see it's going through a setup wizard. But when I'm on the WordPress website and I'm creating my posts and my pages and whatever I'm building, I can see my CRM right here on the left-hand side. However, with something like ActiveCampaign or MailChimp or ConvertKit or Keep, you're going to go to a different website where you've created an account, and that's where you'll create and send your emails. So having an email system that's right in the back of your WordPress website or something hosted somewhere else on MailChimp.com or whatever it might be, that's the difference between those two usually, but they generally function the same to the end user. The end user is probably not going to know what CRM that you're working with. It's really an internal business consideration of, are you, for admins, for people organizing emails, is it more effective for us to go out of the back end of WordPress, or is it more effective for us to outsource this so we don't have to worry about things like email sendability? Like when you put a CRM in the back end of your WordPress website, it might feel really efficient and fast, but there's other considerations you now have to make. For example, email sendability, because if you're sending 1,000 emails or 10,000 emails out of ActiveCampaign, you don't have to worry about the technicalities of how they're going to send it, because you pay them to worry about the technicalities. But if you're sending them out of the WordPress website, you're going to have to worry about the SMTP, which is the email sending server that your WordPress website is using. So yeah, that's an important consideration if you're going to be sending out of the back end of WordPress, is you have to worry about cron jobs and a little more technical stuff, because WordPress operates fundamentally right now on PHP. And so that kind of code is triggered when an action is taken or someone loads a page or something happens. So there's something called cron jobs, which will check over time if events need to happen. Like you might send a broadcast and you're going to say, I'm going to schedule this broadcast for next week on Friday. And so the WordPress website, usually with PHP, it wouldn't know, oh, it's Friday, it's time to send the broadcast. So cron jobs work in order to say like, oh, it's Friday at 2 p.m. It's time to send that email. So things like that are going to be important.
And they don't always work. So so that's a consideration, is you can save a lot of money, but you need to know a little bit about the technical side of it, or have a big enough team where you can hire somebody to do that. I know Katy and I, what was it, 2 weeks ago, at like 5 p.m. on Friday, we sent out an email via Fluent CRM to like 15,000 people or something like that. And they all started clicking through on our tracking links, and it took down our support system for, I don't know, an hour or something like that. had to reboot the whole website, and like things got stuck, and yeah, it was a little gnarly to untangle, but we save a lot of money. So to me, it's worth it, but it's not for everybody.
Yeah, no, totally. And like in my business, I know how to configure all that stuff, but I'm just too lazy. So I currently use like those ActiveCampaign or MailChimp. I'm like, I'm going to pay y'all to worry about it. And even if you do use something like ActiveCampaign, there will be problems with their system and you will have to submit support tickets to them. It'll just be less of you having responsibility of dealing with it manually and something you just have to wait for on their end. So there's factors.
And ultimately, so we were with ActiveCampaign for like 10 years or something like that. And I really loved it. But ultimately, I left because, they raised the prices and emails kept not sending. And then if you contacted support, you wouldn't hear back for like a month, 2 months. I had like one customer who was waiting on a resolution for 6 months. So I was like, if it's already not going to work and I'm not getting any help, I might as well just do it myself, and maybe it'll work a little bit better, and I'll provide my own support. So
classic Jack.
That was a consideration. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think I understand it a little bit better. I don't know if I'm quite at the level of being able to do those things myself, but I think maybe at the end of these series of live streams, I might be ready. So thank you for sharing. All right, moving on. How do you use marketing automation when selling WP Fusion? This sounds like we're going to be able to get into the nitty gritty. Let's talk about it. Jack, why don't you start this one, since I think you know a little bit about WP Fusion?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. Actually, to be honest with you, I hate doing marketing, which is why you're here now, and it saved me a ton of stress. For years and years, we just collected everybody's name into ActiveCampaign, and I would send them like one email a year being like, hey, by the way, we're still here, and like this is what we've been up to. It's like not what I enjoy. But now we're doing a lot more of that. I think, especially because we've had so like the Google algorithms updated a lot over the last year, and we've had less luck with organic traffic, and so we're doing more active acquisition of customers, like trying to collect emails and giving out free trials and free demos and things like that. And so as we've incorporated those tools, then we've also incorporated more automations to try and get them to convert. So some examples might be, for example, we have a few ways to try WP Fusion. You can download WP Fusion Lite from WordPress.org, which has a lot of features, but not all of the features of the Pro version. You can sign up for a sandbox demo, like a temporary staging site with the full version of WP Fusion, and then you can connect it to your own CRM and experiment with all the paid features. You can get on a sales call with Spence, and he will walk you through what's possible and consult with you on which tools to use. And what I found is that sometimes people only see one of those options, and maybe they sign up for a technical demo, but they're not a technical type person. They'd really like somebody to coach them through it. So we'll do things like, for example, if somebody signs up for Sandbox and then they just log into it, but we see that they don't bother finishing the setup process or connect it to anything, we'll send an email saying, hey, we noticed you didn't use the demo. Would you like to get on a call and talk about your strategy? Maybe you're having a hard time choosing which tools to use. For people who fill out the form to download our free plugin, then we send emails following up after a day or two saying, hey, now that you've had a chance to install this, like here's some cool tips and tricks you might want to try, or here's some videos that you might want to watch. And if you're interested, if you're enjoying it, then you can click here to sign up for the Sandbox demo. In terms of engaging with existing customers, I've found it very helpful that we can track so much data using WP Fusion. So rather than sending the same email to our whole list all the time, we're able to be quite targeted with it. So for example, Katy and I started sending a monthly newsletter for the first time in August. And rather than sending it to everybody, what we've been able to do is let people opt out of just that monthly newsletter if they don't want to be bothered with product updates and blog posts and stuff like that. But they can still stay on the list if we have like, you know, a security update or something really important. We can reach out to them and let them know. In August, Infusionsoft had a big update that broke a lot of their API functionality. And so we were able to not only reach out just to Infusionsoft customers to let them know what they have to do to upgrade, but we were able to figure out all of our customers who are still actively using WP Fusion, but don't have an active license for support and automatic updates. And we could send them a different message and say, A, this thing is about to break, and B, oh, I have to give him the thumbs up. And B, you don't currently get updates. So your site's going to break. Here's a 30% off discount if you come back and renew, and then we'll be available to help you if you have any problems. We're able to send, just generally like trying to send messages to people with the information that's really important to them, and then making it easy for people to not get stuff they're not interested in. When we start sending our Black Friday emails, Zach actually had the excellent suggestion of having a button to just unsubscribe from the Black Friday sequence. So that way we don't lose them off our list permanently. We can still send them, like our year in review roundup, or we can keep them on the monthly newsletter, but they aren't interested in the Black Friday deal, and that's fine. So it helps us keep our list more engaged and keep people receiving the kind of stuff they're interested in.
Super helpful. And I just want to pause really quick because one of our watchers, Randy, has asked a question. And I know that we kind of waited a couple of minutes, but if we could just pause for a second before we go over to Emily and answer it, I think it'll take just a second. Do you see it in the chat there, Jack?
Yeah, we're still with Fluent CRM. We switched in October of 2023, so it's like a little over a year. I actually just did a case study with Fluent CRM. I worked with their marketing head, and we kind of went in depth on the customizations we've made to make it work for us, and the reasons why we chose to do it on a subdomain instead of on our main website. And yeah, that should be published soon. I'm looking forward to being able to share that because it's a lot of interesting stuff. But yeah, very happy with it. Almost no issues. And what I really like about using an open source platform, not only is the team amazing, Jewel is my WordCamp buddy. I love hanging out with them. They are always receptive to feedback. We've had things that we've wanted to add to Fluent CRM, and we'll write the code and send it in as a suggestion, and then they put it into the next update, which is amazing. But also, in the rare cases when something breaks or when we need to modify something, it's open source, so we can make those changes if we have to, which gives me a lot more feeling of security versus something like ActiveCampaign, where it's you're getting what they're giving you, and that's it.
Perfect. Thanks for taking a second to answer. And thanks, Randy, for the question. Glad you're here. Emily, would you mind talking a little bit about marketing automation and WP Fusion? You think if everything's been covered, it's okay, but I'm sure you have some words of wisdom to offer us.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess marketing automation for a product company, like a digital product company that's offering something like a plugin or open source software, it's just really useful. Like the open source community is massive, and there's a lot of different types of people who want to interact with it. I think Jack covered that a lot. People who are on the free plan, people who are on the paid plan, they need different things. They have different licenses, they have different versions, and they have different integrations. And with marketing automation as a part of a product company like that, it allows for all of those people to get messages curated to them that feel specific to their needs and use case. And then like Zach and Jack are talking about making that unsubscribe link the option to where you can opt out of specific types of marketing automation that you don't want to get, like you don't want to be a part of the Black Friday promotion because you already have a lifetime deal or something like that from whatever the product company might be. They could do that. And so that is, yeah.
You might have actually some interesting insights because you've worked in the course creation community for a long time. I see it from a technical level when we're doing support, but I haven't actually built a course myself. So Emily, maybe you could speak a bit on how you use marketing automation when building online courses and communities.
Yeah, totally. When I'm building an online course, I think having an onboarding sequence is really important to say, hey, welcome to the course. This is what I hope you'll learn. I think with like learning specifically, like courses and memberships are a little bit different, but when it's something like a course, I like trying to give my user like a learning objective. And with marketing automation specifically, tracking what their questions are at the beginning of the course. If you send someone a follow-up and say, hey, I thought you signed up for the course. Can you fill out this survey and tell me the top 3 reasons you bought this course or what you're interested in learning? That information can then be used later for me developing more course content based on the feedback that people gave me about what they wanted to learn and why they signed up. But it can also help me prove value, because I think with online courses and memberships, proving value of the product is something that we kind of struggle with. Like with a software product, it's like, well, if you're making money with the software product or it's helping you make money, then that's like the goal. It's supporting your business. But with something like learning or courses, like, did you learn? Do you like being in the membership? And so having these goals of like, why are you in this community? Why do you want to be here? What questions do you have? And then referencing those later and saying, with marketing automation, we can take those survey questions asked at the beginning of the course and then send them at the end and say, hey, these are the 3 things you said you wanted to get the most out of this course. How do you feel about it now? And then they'll either give me feedback of like, you didn't help me learn any of this stuff. And then, you can adjust your course, or they'll be like, oh my gosh, I got such great results. I forgot that I even didn't know this at one point in time. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I really like that. I actually hadn't thought about that strategy before, but that's a really interesting approach. We might do a blog post on that too. Another one I see that's really common is there's kind of like sometimes this gym membership phenomenon with online courses. Like people sign up to learn to become a DJ or something because they feel like, just by buying it, like, now I'm committed, now I'm in it. But then it's like, I'm tired and I don't want to start it today. And then they never take the course. And so we see a lot of customers using WP Fusion to track students' progress. And if somebody signs up for something and then doesn't complete a lesson for 3 days, they'll send an encouraging email like, hey, we know that last lesson was tricky, but don't get down on yourself, or like, here's some additional resources, or like, just, you can do this. And it works really well to get people coming back. You can even guilt them. Like, you signed up for this thing, and you haven't practiced the guitar in 30 days. You could be playing guitar by now if you've just done one lesson a day. It works. Like, and then, of course, ideally, then they're renewing when their renewal time comes up, instead of saying, I didn't use it and I'm going to cancel the subscription.
Yeah. I think for me, I struggle. Like, I take a lot of things for granted in my life because so many things are flying at me all the time. And so having follow-up that talks about like references of the past, of like, at this point in time 1 year ago, this is what you were struggling with, and now you're not struggling with that. Why don't you renew for a second year so that we can do even more goals?
Yeah, I like that.
Stuff like that.
Cool. Super helpful. Also, maybe words of encouragement, you're doing great. You're awesome. I know I need that in my marketing automation, maybe like words of affirmation. You rock at the guitar. Anyway, thanks for drawing that out. And, we only have one question left. So if you are sitting and this is on in the background, you're just listening to us chit chat, any questions that pop in your mind, we are here for at least 15 more minutes. So please feel free to drop it in there. Really here just to answer any questions. Don't be afraid. We really like it. We really want to answer them right here and now. Saves us time and energy, and it allows us to talk about WP Fusion, which we love so much. Okay, that being said, our final question for the evening, for the morning, wherever you are right now in the world is, what is your favorite email marketing tool and or tools? Talk about it. Tell me about it, Emily and Jack. What are your favorite tools? And put it in the chat too.
Oh yeah. Let us know in the chat what your favorite marketing tools are, or maybe ones that you might have migrated away from. I don't know. Like, I think the ones that are I do work with clients who have all kinds of different marketing automation tools. For me, I like the easy way, and like where I'm just on a hosted solution like ActiveCampaign or MailChimp or something like that. But I do see the value a lot in something like Fluent CRM and Groundhog. I was working with Groundhog yesterday, designing Groundhog emails. There's just so much more customization that you can do with something inside of your WordPress website. And so I think for different use cases, there's different ideal solutions. But I'm definitely like for my own projects personally, I'm on MailChimp for small ones and ActiveCampaign for big ones. What about you, Jack? We kind of talked about it a little bit, but
yeah, we did. Yeah. We support like 60 of them, and so I've used them all a little bit, but I'm only kind of expert in a few. My favorite has to be HubSpot, and it's not for everybody. The plans start at $800 a month, so even for us, it's not practical. But the features they come up with are so well thought out. And also, as a developer, I love that we have a contact there that we can get in touch with anytime our customers have technical problems. And they'll work with engineering to fix anything that we need. It's reliable. It's super reliable. It doesn't go down. Their support gets back to you instantly. I know Katy and I have spent a lot of time over the last month going through the HubSpot Academy. They've got a free academy that teaches you marketing techniques, a great YouTube channel. So yeah, that's kind of my, like, if it was an unlimited budget, that's where I would go. But then also Omnisend, I really like. I mentioned them earlier, with the multi-channel email and SMS. They're just such a fun group of people. I met them at WordCamp US in 2023, and we met up again in Taiwan earlier this year. And I like products that have real people behind them. They've got cool socks and a fun Instagram account where they do like jokes around their office and stuff like that, bake-offs and like that kind of thing. Like it feels like you're kind of part of the family with Omnisend, which I really like. And then probably another one I really like is Bento, which is it's an amazing system, but they don't do any advertising. We just did a review on them recently, and I think Jesse, the founder, he talks about like having slow, sustainable growth rather than looking for this like taking on investors and let's scale, grow. Because I think that destroys a lot of companies. I was amazed when I first started using Bento that you can join their Discord, and that's where the support happens. And Jesse, the founder, is right in there. They've got 24-hour coverage. If you ever have any questions or, how do I set up this automation to notify a student before the next exam day or something like that, they'll help you set that up. And because they're so involved, especially because the founder is so involved one-on-one with customers, I think that they are innovating in really unique ways. I really like the feature they have where instead of sending your email blast all at once or like as fast as the system can send it, they'll send 100 emails at a time every 30 minutes or every hour you choose. And that actually helps you be less likely flagged by spam by Gmail and other cloud inbox providers. And I haven't seen that with any other email marketing tool. They just came up with that. They have WP Fusion makes a lot of use of tags, of course. So you apply a tag to a student to indicate what they've purchased, or you apply a tag to an abandoned cart. And Bento's got a cool feature called tag decay. So if somebody watches a video on your website and then fills out a form, you can tag them as a warm lead or something. And then you can say that tag is going to decay over the next 90 days. So if they don't have any more engagements, then their warm lead tag falls off and they're no longer warm. If they watch another video, then it undecays, revives. What's the word there? And then they're warm again. And I don't know any other marketing platforms that have that feature either. And I think that just comes out of like having the people who are building the software working one-on-one with the customers, and they're able to hear a problem somebody's having and then just create a technical solution to it, which I really love. And that's what we try to do here at WP Fusion as well.
Super cool. Thanks, y'all. And I went ahead and I put that review that we did of Bento in the chat. So give it a view if you find that interesting. I mean, that layered email sending sounds really helpful to a lot of businesses that we work with. And yeah, we have another question from Randy. Hi, hello, Randy. And it looks like that we are willing to answer it and maybe do a small demo if that works for the crew here.
Yeah. So I saw Randy's question is, can WP Fusion use a date in a custom field prior to an appointment to send an email with Fluent CRM? And if not, can we send the code to WP Manage Ninja? I have good news for you, Randy. It is possible. And it's possible with Fluent CRM out of the box, but WP Fusion can trigger or populate these fields if you want to. So if I share my screen here and we go to settings and contact custom fields, I created a custom field for appointment day, but let me just start over. So if I do a custom field, we can select the date field, and then this will be your appointment date or maybe next appointment date. And then we'll add that. So now that we have our custom field, when we go to automations and add new automation, it doesn't really matter what the trigger is. I would probably choose tag applied, but what we're going to need to do is specifically, we're going to use this field called wait X days or hours, and then you can wait by custom field, and you can say wait till next appointment date. So that's how you could say, I want to say when the user fills out a form to sign up for an appointment, I want to wait to apply them a tag, start this automation, wait until their appointment date, and then send them an email that says, hey, your appointment's coming up. You could also, I'm just looking at this, I'm like, wait by custom field, wait by weekday. I'm just trying to see, like, can you...
Yeah, so I think they just added this, but I think the difficulty at the moment is, can you do it before the date, or does it have to be on the date? I'm just trying it now on my end. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, can you change? Yeah. Can you wait by custom field, next appointment date?
Yeah, so it would just run on that date, as far as I can see. We have... Somebody solved this, and I don't remember who it was. I might have to get back to you on that one. It might have been Daniel at Pop-Up Maker. We have a custom plugin that we created that adds some additional options for triggering Fluent CRM automations based on field updates. Because what I love about Fluent CRM is every time I go to see if something's possible, they've added the feature, like in the last month. But let's see if they have this. If they have the thing I'm looking for. Give me one sec. I think I broke it.
In the meantime, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to our Black Friday Cyber Monday sale that starts next week. We will be doing some promo, as we mentioned earlier in the live stream. We will be on Friday, Saturday, and Monday next week, just here answering questions. We do have some thought out subjects that we're going to be exploring that are in our personal, professional, lifetime packages. And we're really excited to talk about it. Just thought I would drop that here, and yeah, hope to see some of y'all back during that time. I know it's a busy time for a lot of you, but we'd love to see your faces and or your chats or your questions. Sorry, Jack.
No worries. I don't have a clear answer. Sorry, Randy. So we do have a custom plugin that we made, and I can put the link in the chat, which allows you to trigger automations based on custom fields being updated. But I can't remember off the top of my head if we added the ability to do a relative date condition to that. And also, it's not letting me post links into the chat, but anyway,
Fluent.
Sorry.
Fluent Booking would work because Fluent Booking has those features built in. It just has to be like the math logic once the form is submitted to submit the event to like math the date back 24 hours in 1 week and then just log those as contact fields in the CRM. Then it would work. But I might just consider Fluent Booking as an integration if you're already using Fluent, and then WP Fusion can handle however like people are signing up or something. I don't know. What do you think about that, Jack?
Yeah, that would work. I'm looking at this, and I think I could probably add a wait condition based on date to our existing plugin pretty quickly. I might give it a try today to avoid doing real work. Randy, if you're a customer of ours and we have your email, I'll get back in touch or send a message when I have an answer on that. Because I know it gets asked a lot in the Fluent CRM community, and I think the Fluent CRM team have been a little bit worried about the performance implications of running automations based on dates. So I don't think they want to add it to the plugin itself, but it might be something we can offer as a free add-on if it's simple.
All right. Yeah. Well, I think, all right. Well, I see Randy's follow-up, and yeah. We'll see if we can answer more of these questions next week as well. Like I said, we're going to be on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Friday, we'll be on at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. And we'll be there for about an hour. So come with some questions. We'll see what we do in the meantime. I mean, the awesome thing about Jack being the head of WP Fusion is he is working tirelessly to create solutions to questions like these on a daily basis. So we really appreciate it when you ask questions like this. It helps us learn, and it helps us improve WP Fusion every single day. But yeah, I think we should probably wrap it up for tonight. At least where we are in Germany, we'd love to call it a night. And I know Emily might want a cup of coffee or whatever you drink early in the morning on Pacific Coast time. We've got a international crew here. But we appreciate y'all joining, and I'm going to hand it off to both of you to say farewell and thanks for joining.
Great. Yeah. Well, thanks, Katy and Emily, for putting this together. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody here over the Black Friday weekend.
Yeah. Farewell, and thanks for joining.